for teens especially, they'd always felt as America's a safe place, and all of a sudden our country's been invaded. And what do we do now? Are we really safe?
I think there were some negative connotations that did exist, obviously, because individuals of Muslim religion were seen as the enemy by a lot of individuals in America, whether they be young or old. So there were some negative connotations that were created. However, I think the church and other religious leaders have done a good job of making sure that we feel a sense of community amongst them.
I remember the Sunday after 9/11 and going to Mass in the church just being jam-packed. It was like Christmas or Easter Sunday. You couldn't get a seat. A lot of people who maybe hadn't been focused on God or their religion or their faith were really turning back to their faith in that moment of despair for really our entire country.
It's caused most teens to not be as apathetic in regards to their faith. Sometimes it takes a very climatic event or a tragedy to kind of call them to their faith. So I think it's kind of encouraged a more active approach to understanding what the faith means to them. I think it's important that future generations remember that religion is very, very powerful in terms of emotions that can be expressed, whether it be through actions. Sometimes it causes negative actions, but to remember that a peaceful community is important, and that as a generation you have to be mindful of what all can happen whenever certain things go too far.
Teens who are y'all, like Janelle, I think y'all were like 5 or 6 at the time. I remember the PBS station not breaking away to show the coverage of the World Trade Center bombings or what was going on at the Pentagon or in Pennsylvania. They were still showing Sesame Street, Barney, Mr. Rogers, all those shows. I think really to be a distraction for the young kids, because I think those, it were probably 5 or 6. It was probably, I mean, it was very intense for even me to watch. I'd just been in New York 2 months before that happened. So I'd seen the World Trade Center and saw how big those buildings were. I think now that they see it's kind of video and they may not realize necessarily, you know, the true devastation of what that day was like. It's almost like for some I think it's almost like a movie.